All right.
So our issue is on parental consent for abortion, also known as Prop 4. I'm just going to start off with a brief little intro. In California, a girl under the age 18 cannot get a tan in a tanning salon, a cavity filled at a dentist, even aspirin from a school nurse, or the most newest one is they can't even get their driver's license without their parental consent. Yet, they can go to a doctor and have a doctor perform either a surgical or chemical abortion for a minor without your consent. Does that seem right? Alright. We are for parental consent on abortion. Our claims are parental consent is needed for any type of medical procedure for minors, so it should also be needed for an abortion. And also, due to consent in abortion, there is a decrease in underage pregnancies, STDs, and unsafe abortions. To start off, I'll start with legal responsibilities. Parents are legally responsible for their children, no matter what. It's part of the law. As long as they're under the age of 18 and there's not an emergency situation. Another interesting fact is parents are also financially responsible for their children, also until they're age 18. The one exception to that is in New York, where actually parents are still responsible for their children until they're 21. So abortions can be costly both to the family and to the individual as well. As facts for that, the average American family makes about $46,000 a year. As a result, they make about $350,000 a month. It can create a financial burden for if they have to pay for abortions, counseling, anything that has to do with abortion. If they don't just talk to the teens first or have them come to them and get their consent first and be ready for this said event. A safe doctor-recommended abortion, according to SAS.com, is upwards from $350, and that's for one that they recommend that is actually safe for you to go to without having any problems at all, any complications afterwards. Once again, this is also another financial burden on the parents if it just happens out of nowhere. Also, even though there are low-cost clinics, this is a disclosure on some of the free clinics and low-cost clinics, even though some of them are low-cost, there can still be complications with that. Most of them use a system called cost assistance, where it's usually ends up being monthly payments, which still total out to be upwards around $200 in the end. Alright. Next, I'm going to talk about dangers of abortion. According to associated.gov.net, abortions can lead to simple side effects, such as inflammation of the cervix. They can range from those simple side effects, and if they're not taken care of right, they can lead all the way into cervical cancer. Another danger of an unsafe abortion, which is something that either the child would do themselves, or it's something where they do a free clinic or don't talk to the parents about it, is unsafe abortions performed by the child or a unqualified doctor can lead to severe bleeding, tearing of the cervix, damaged genitals and abdomen, and even can risk possible cancer later in life as well, according to IPVF.com. Alright. Another thing about abortions is the cost to the economy too nowadays, just with kids doing whatever they want nowadays. For tax statistics, the government in 2008 spent nearly $3 trillion. Of that, $2.5 trillion was financed by tax dollars, so stuff that everyone here pays government for jobs, anything like that. Of that, healthcare accounts for 20% of it, or $599 billion. Of that, a small fraction of that can go to doctors and abortions as well. But if you figure the less abortions, the less the money that we have to pay out of tax dollars that goes to that can go to other things as well. And finally, about medical consent. One of the biggest things is, besides the issue of rape, there shouldn't be any need for the child having abortion because they're underage and they're illegally not allowed to have sex. So, and exactly what is the need for abortion in the first place, besides for the consent of rape? All right. The next thing I'm going to talk about is due to consent and abortion rate, there's a decrease. One of the easiest ways to help decrease abortions and the needs for them is just talk to your kids. According to U.S. Catholic, Princeton survey shows that 70% of teens in the U.S. have received talks about their parents in 2008. This is an increase from 2003, where it was only 60%. This also leads to less unwanted pregnancies as well, less unsafe sex, stuff like that. Also, since abortion laws have been imposed in the U.S., over the last 10 years, sex among minors has decreased by 19%. thanks to the GovMaster Institute. Also from the GovMaster Institutes, also STD rates have dropped in teens from 52% to 48%. Just for actually, no, it's not STDs, STIs in the last 10 years as well. Once again, from talking to their parents, having their parents talk to them about abortion and stuff like that. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, in 2005, only 34% of teens had sex out of minors, and this is also a decrease from the 48% in 1999, also because of abortion laws that have previously been put in effect throughout the U.S. Another thing from the Kaiser Family Foundation is in 2007, 66% of teens reported abstinence compared to the 56% in 2003, and once again also because of in-state abortion laws across the U.S., not just in California. Another information from that foundation, in 2007, teens report that out of the sex that they did have, 98% of that was safe as well. One of the major things is actually abortion throughout the states has decreased due to other neighboring states not having abortion. A good example of that is Colorado and Arizona for abortion rates for teens that they do have ratings from. About 0.6% of all the abortions in the state are from teenagers under 15, and then 22.5% is from teens that are between 15 and 19. In California, that rate has gone up a little bit since we don't have abortion laws to 0.7% and also to 23%. So that shows you the difference between having parental consent abortion laws and not having abortion laws. So in summary for our side, that parental abortion laws are needed in California.
I'd like to start off by